Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to this week's session of live content review using technical analysis. So for the flow today, will be same as per usual. First, I'll go through the US economic calendar. And afterwards, I'll talk about some of the indices and commodities. Then followed by some of the sectors like the Magnificent Seven, US banks, semicons, as well as EVs. Then last but not least, I'll also talk about the questions that you all have in the Q&A tab. Yeah, so first up, for economic calendar this week, quite a lot of stuff, important things that's going on. Tonight, nothing much. Tomorrow, there's something to think of will be the consumer confidence numbers that's at 10 p.m. as well as we have job openings. There's also the Atlanta Fed GDP now at 10:30 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, then going to Wednesday, there's API crude oil stock at 4:30 a.m. Then there's also ADP non-farm numbers at 8:15 p.m. Afterwards, there's GDP at 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday, followed by some PCE numbers at 10 p.m. Okay, then after that, crude inventories at 10:30 p.m. Going on to Thursday, Atlanta Fed GDP now at 1 a.m. Afterwards, usual jobless claims numbers at 8:30 p.m. Followed by the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI at 9:45 p.m. Afterwards will be the ISM Manufacturing PMI at 10 p.m. Okay, then to close off the week will be another important event, which is the non-farm payrolls. So that's at 8:30 p.m. on Friday. So quite a lot of important events coming out almost every day this week. Yeah, for the economic calendar. Okay, then I'll move on to the indices. So first I'll talk about is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I think demonstrating its outperformance over the rest of the indices. So when the market sort of recovered recently, it also managed to break out above this 88.5K level last week. So I think currently still showing a lot of strength. I think it's doing a bit of a sideways consolidation after this strong surge from 85 to 95K. But I think for now, support likely it will be around 92K, which was some lower weeks over here last week, as well as the 10-day moving average, this line in red. Yeah, so I think we could still see a rise for Bitcoin. I think if it does break above this 96K level, I think the next resistance will likely be around 98 to about 100K level for Bitcoin, which was like a previous consolidation resistance back in February this year. So, yeah, so Bitcoin is still showing a lot of strength for now. Okay, then next up is Dow Jones. So I think Dow Jones, in terms of the current market rebound, Dow Jones a bit lagging. So as for now, you can see that still below this trend line over here, this trend line, which was a previous support, then actually still continues as a bit of resistance. That's around 40.3, 40.4K area. So I think still need to break above this, try to close above this 40.4K level for some strength to come in now. Yeah, but for Dow, I think for now still looking okay in the short term rates. Following the other the S&P and Nasdaq, you also managed to recover from midweek onwards, holding above this 5 and 10 MA levels. That's around 39.5K. So as long as this level is still holding, I think it's still okay. Yeah, there's still a chance for some bounce ahead. Yeah, then I think main resistance will likely come around 41K, which is probably this gap down price over here on 3rd April, as well as there's a possible downwards resistance line over here. Yeah, so for Dow, I think might be still weaker than as compared to Nasdaq and S&P for now. Then moving on to Nasdaq, and Nasdaq showing some strength over here. So managed to finally break above this 20-day MA resistance, this yellow line, as well as currently is also above the horizontal resistance around 70.1K. So I think for now, the next resistance level for now could be a retest of this trend line, previous support. We'll find a bit of resistance over here at 70.5K next. That's first level of resistance. Though I think it could still go a little bit higher than that, maybe to test this red line 50-day MA. That's around closer to 70.7K, which was also like a bit of a swing high level before price went down further in the start of this month. Yeah, so I think for Nasdaq could still have a little bit of further rebound, but 17.7 to about 18.2 would likely be more of a resistance. I think the very strong resistance will be quite close to 18.2 if it does get there. So this was like a swing high being formed, as well as this purple line. It's also at this purple line, which is a 200 MA level, which I think will be quite a strong resistance, given that price has been trading under this key level for quite a period of time. So that's for Nasdaq. Then for S&P, I think quite similar to Nasdaq as well. See, a bit of strength as it closed up, as managed to break above 5,460 level. So I think could likely still extend a bit of rebound towards 5,640, which it meets this orange line where it's a previous trend line support, could act as a bit of resistance. Also have this red line, the 50-day MA is over here as well. Yeah, so and also is a 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. Yeah, so that's one. Then next resistance level, that's if it does go a bit higher, next key resistance level closer to 5,700s. I think we had the swing high previously over here as well as 200 MA. So 200 MA, so same as Nasdaq as well. So I think in terms of indices, still looking quite good. We could see some further rebound this week. Then for next one is gold. So gold taking a bit of retreat right now. So retreating, as we can see previously, there was this very strong price action, but it's currently below the 5 MA and also below 10 MA for now. So I will expect a little bit further pullback. So first support level will probably be around 3,200. So that's the 20 MA level. If it does dip a bit lower, I think maybe 3,150, which is this previous swing high over there as well. And I saw something interesting is the 30 MA level. So when I changed the MA to 30, right, it's quite a good support this year. So previously in March, this yellow line over here, 30 MA, as well as start of April, this yellow line over here, managed to hold as quite a strong support. So I think 3,150 to 3,200 will be quite a good support area for gold to rebound in the short term. Yeah, so just a bit of a slight pullback after a strong run recently for gold. Next one I'll talk about is oil. So oil, I think we could still see a bit of some weakness going on. So for now, generally I think it's trading possibly reading this bearish flag over here lah. So but still finding resistance, a lot of resistance above 63.5. So I think overall also still finding resistance from this 20 MA as well. So I think we could see a possible real sideways for now, but I would be more bearish bias if it does break below this this bear flag support around 60, around like 61.8. Yeah. So for now, a bit of sideways consolidation, but if it does break below there, I think more caution for downside. Okay, next one is VIX. Okay, VIX I think is coming off, so breaking below this 28.3 support level from midweek, from Wednesday onwards. So I think we could still see VIX go a bit lower. I think next support for VIX, I think next level maybe 21.8, which is this trendline support over here, as well as it's a previous horizontal level as well. Then if it does dip lower than that, I think something to look out for will also probably be this line over here, this upward support line. So maybe like about like 19 to about 20, that's a very, I think it will be a strong support level for VIX to do a rebound. So if the market does rally towards these levels for VIX, I think then we might have to see a bit of possibly a bit of a caution. If VIX comes down to these low levels, then market might do a bit of a pullback. Yeah. So that's for VIX. I think could still come down, but just watch out for some of these support levels down there. Next one is, okay, last one not least is copper. So copper, yeah, continuing a slight rebound slowly over here. Still, yeah, I think for now support probably 4.8, the 10 MA level, as well as a horizontal level being broken out. Some resistance around 4.95 to around 5.1 for now, I guess. Yeah, so a bit of a steady upwards trajectory, but possibly a bit of sideways as well. So that's it for the indices and commodities. I'll move on to the sectors. First I'll talk about is the Magnificent 7. So for Mag 7, okay, so for Mag 7, it's I'll look at this index over here, which is the Roundhill Mag 7 ETF, MAGS. So for this, you can see it's only doing a bit of a rebound. So broke above this downwards resistance line over here, as well as this around the 45.8 level is a key previous support breakdown. There's a bit of resistance, but Friday can close above it. So if can maintain above this line, I think we could still see some further rebound ahead. Some resistance could come from the 50 and 200 MA levels next, which is this red and purple line. That's close to like 47.5 to 49 area. Yeah, so there's some possible resistance in the term, which is also some of these swing highs formed in March, previously in March this year. So I think that will be, if the rebound does come to this level, we could expect some resistance to come in for the Magnificent 7. Yeah, so that's for the index. I'll move on to the individual counters. Okay, so first one is Meta. So for Meta, you can see there's some strength coming in, a bit of a double bottom being formed at 480, then doing a bit of rebound. Also, some strength coming in after it managed to close above this downwards resistance line on Friday. So we could still see some possibility, some further rebound ahead. Possibly towards like next level will be around 582, 583, around there, which was this swing high from 9 April over here. So there will be some resistance. Another key resistance, if it will be to probably a retest of this line, which is a previous very strong hour support line, and afterwards it's a breakdown. So next strong resistance probably around 600 if it does retest this trend line now, which is also a psychological level as well. So that's for Meta. We could see some further rebound on the weekly. Also, I could try to rebound towards this red line, the 10 MA as well, since on the weekly, it managed to close above the 5 MA for the first time since the pullback over here. Yeah, so I think we could see some further rebound ahead. Next one is Apple. So for Apple, also still for now it's looking better as well. So this can see this resistance 197 managed to hold a support and then rebound off. Then currently is at this level at around 210, which was this previous support, and there was a bit of resistance from this gap up. Then but it's still holding quite nicely over here. So I think for Apple, for some continuous strength, you must try to break out this trend line over here. Yeah, so there might still be some resistance at 210, but if once it can break through, then I think we could see the price go towards next level around 218, which was this consolidation breakdown over here. Yeah, as well as a gap fill. So that's for Apple. Yeah, 210 will be the key level. Need to break, then we can see more upside. Then for next one is Amazon. Yeah, so Amazon also looking, also the breakthrough of this short-term trendline resistance. Some resistance could be around 191, this support turn resistance level. But if you can overcome it, then next level to see maybe 190, 198, then around 204 next. Yeah, so that's for Amazon. Okay, Netflix also very strong after the results. Yeah, so Netflix, following the results, there was just breakout 1,000 as well as breakout this previous all-time high 1,065. So I think likely is to see this continue upwards trajectory. Possible short-term resistance, probably a retest of this trend line where previously previously in the past there's some rejection of this level. So currently some resistance could present itself close to 1,150 along this trend line. Yeah, so that's for Netflix, still very strong. Also definitely holding above the 5 MA for now. So I think if it still continues to trade a lot above this blue line there, I think it's still very strong momentum in the short term. Okay, next one is Alphabet. Yeah, so Alphabet also managed to break above this trendline resistance over here at 158. Some resistance could come around 167, which was this previous upward support line. So over here, retest might see a bit of resistance. But if you can try to go above it, then the next level of the next level of resistance it could test maybe like 170, which is this swing high over here. Yeah, the next one, last but not least, I'll talk about is Microsoft. Yeah, so Microsoft, this one's still looking a bit of a sideways for now. Yeah, so I think over here might still have a bit of resistance at 395, very strong horizontal resistance over here. we might still see some sideways, but if we can overcome, then maybe we'll go a bit higher towards 400. Over here, there's still also some resistance. So I think Microsoft probably not much movement lah. Yeah, so it's a bit more sideways compared to the rest. So also something to take note for the Magnificent Seven stocks. I think a lot of them will be reporting results this week. So need to see how the results will move the stock price as well. But if based on technicals, I would think maybe could maybe see maybe 4 to 5% upside. Like if it does test some of these some of the resistance for in March. Yeah, so that's for the Magnificent Seven. I'll move on. Next one is the banking sector. So first one I'll talk about is the XLF ETF, which is the SPDR Financial Sector Fund. So this one also we're seeing some positive signs. There's some positive signs that price managed to recover above this 47.2 key level, which was this resistance. Yeah, bit of resistance. You can see some rejection, but on Wednesday when I kept up above it and the remaining trading days managed to hold above it. So that's a good sign. Some possibly still some resistance could come around for the 8.8, which is this trend line resistance over here. So maybe we could see a bit of a sideways pattern over here. Yeah, above 48.8, there's also resistance like 49.3. So I think for the sorry for the financials, we could see maybe a bit of sideways pattern over here for now. Okay, so I see there's a question on to repeat on Meta. Yeah, so for Meta, I think it's still looking quite good for now. I'm expecting some further rebound ahead as it's managed to break over this short-term trendline resistance. Next key resistance level probably close to like probably a retest of this close to 580 now. That will be the next significant resistance, which is this swing high form of high volume before the pullback. Also over here, it's quite close to 200 MA as well as the 50 MA that's coming down. So we could still see a bit of an upside for now for Meta. Okay, I'll move on to the other banks. So on top of the big four banks, the first one is JP Morgan. Yeah, so JP Morgan managed to break over the resistance of 235, 236 over here. So yeah, I think we could still see some further bounce ahead. I think next resistance level to watch will be around close to 250 lah, which is this swing high previously being formed over here. Yeah, so as long as it managed to continue to hold over 237 over here, as well as the short-term moving averages, then I think it's still okay. Okay, next one is Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo, this one also managed to break above this this consolidation resistance at $66, pushing higher. But I think there could be a bit of a short-term resistance that could still act maybe at 71. Coming from this a bit of a horizontal level here in the past, as well as this upwards resistance line. So maybe a retest over here might do a bit of a pullback over here. Yeah, at 71 about there. But if we manage to stay above 5 MA support, which is probably around 67.5 for now, then I think you could still hold quite strong, maybe a bit of sideways consolidation first. Okay, I'll talk about the remaining two, which is Bank of America and Citigroup. So Bank of America, this one, I think could still lag a bit because it's still under this blue line, which is a previous upper support line. And yeah, still, so over here at 40, there might still be a real resistance. There's also a gap fill at around 40.8. 40.8 as well. So over here, we still have a bit of resistance going on, but I think we'll maybe hold a bit of a sideways consolidation with just a breakout with a recent breakout above this resistance around 30.3. So maybe a bit of sideways between 30.3 to about 40.8 over here. Next one is Citigroup. Yeah, so for Citigroup, this one this one also looking okay. I'll break out the horizontal resistance at 66 and still holding above this trend line breakout. So we could still maybe see the price push a bit higher to test this support breakdown previously around 70.3. So that that's the next level to look out for. So in terms of the banks, if you just look at the index itself, still looking okay as long as it stays above 47.2 for XLM. Then a bit of resistance could present itself, maybe at 48.8. So maybe we could see maybe could see a bit of sideways consolidation with some near-term resistance. So for the financials, probably not as strong as the tech names mentioned earlier just now, which is also why we see Nasdaq is stronger than the Dow Jones as well. Okay, then next one I'll talk about is the semiconductor. So first out, I'll talk is the Philadelphia Semicon Index. Yeah, so for this, last week was holding last week was holding this level 3760, then managed to rebound towards this resistance gain for around 4,300. So 4,300 is a very key level, which was this neckline of a head and shoulders over here. So over here, I think there could still be some resistance that comes in for the Philadelphia Stocks Index. As the probably do a retest of the 10 MA over here. Yeah, it's coming down. So I will expect some resistance that's still holding on to at around for 4,300 plus level over here for now. And then maybe do a bit of a sideways with some support probably around 4,060 over here for now. Yeah, so I think probably maybe a bit of sideways consolidation for conference. Okay, next one is Nvidia. So Nvidia, this one I think uh, looks probably I think probably we could hold out a bit of a sideways consolidation for now. So during the pullback, managed to still hold a trend line over here at around 95, doing a bit of rebound. But I will still expect the resistance over here at 114 to 117 over here, these regions will still hold quite strongly. Yeah, you can see here over here is a very strong resistance. So I think for now, maybe a bit of sideways first with the support probably around like 107, 106, 107 over here, where the MAs, the moving averages are around here. And it's also, I think it was also a horizontal level previously that recovered above. Yeah, so maybe a bit of sideways consolidation for Nvidia still in the time being, for the time being. Okay, then for AMD, AMD for now, it's this level at 97 is still very critical. So this was a previous support, then turned to resistance, tested about 2 times. Currently it's over here again. So uh there might still be a bit of resistance, but I think uh there are multiple tests. You could weaken the resistance and try to move higher afterwards. So for now, support probably around 93. I think 92 to 93 will be some support. Yeah, 97 could still have a bit of resistance because the 10 MA on the weekly is coming down also as well. So previously, all along during this downtrend over here, I can see AMDs has been pretty weak now with the quite a strong resistance around the 5 to 10 MA levels on the red line. So over here around 98.5 for the 10 MA resistance on the weekly. So over here, I think 97, 98 could still hold as a bit of resistance. So we might see a bit of a sideways pattern still. Yeah. Okay, then for TSMC, TSMC is looking a bit better. Quite similarly, we might see some resistance on the 10 MA 169 for now. But I will expect support to hold up, which at the resistance we broke out last week around 150, 159. So maybe a bit of a sideways trading as well. So 168, 169, this resistance, previous support. On the horizontal level as well as the weekly 10 minute level could still hold out as resistance. So maybe a bit of sideways consolidation here for now first. The next one is ASML. Yeah, so ASML I think quite similar. Still resistance like 688 over here. I think over here might still hold up. as some resistance. There's also the dynamics coming down around 687 over here for now as well. Yeah, so yeah, might still do a bit of sideways consolidation with support probably around 600, around 600 and 657. There's some good support over here, I think, to some sideways. Next one is Marvel. Marvel is still one of the pretty weaker ones. But also some resistance, I think, will still hold out around 61 over here, this swing high form or high volume. So probably is uh yeah, probably a bit of sideways as well, I think, for now with some support probably coming in, probably around 55, 56 level around there. Yeah, so probably sideways consolidation as well. Okay, I'll talk about three more, which are Micron, Broadcom, as well as Intel. So Micron, this one, I think this one still looking not bad actually. This one if you can hold above 78, which is this, which on Friday managed to close above this resistance, right? Then we might see some slight further rebound towards the strong support previously, which broke down around 84 lah. So 84, this previous support will become a very strong resistance. Yeah, so maybe a bit of a perhaps a bit still a bit of further upside for now. Then support probably coming around 74, 75 around there. And then for Broadcom is also looking a bit stronger as well. So for Broadcom, yeah, over here I think probably doing a retest of this previous this blue color line, previous uptrend support. Probably it could act a bit of resistance for now. Over here previously there's also some range consolidation resistance at 197. Yeah, so I think over here might encounter some resistance for us to do a bit of pullback. But if you can hold this support at 185, then it's still looking okay, which is this resistance that it just broke out of. Okay, then next one is Intel. So for Intel, I think overall nothing much has changed. Still very much a very sideways counter. Every time it comes to $19, there's quite a strong support coming in. Then for now, the resistance probably still at 2170 about there. So just a sideways trading range, I think that probably still it's just probably still there for the time being. Then above 21.7, the next key resistance probably around 23.3 about there over here. So just a still very strong, still a very range bound counter in general. Yeah, so I think for most semicons probably could see some sideways consolidation with I think the Philadelphia Semicon Index for over here might still have a bit of resistance on the second time it does retest this level for the 4,300. Yeah. Okay, then I'll move on to the EVs. So first one starting off with Tesla. So Tesla, I think we're seeing a bit of a strength coming in. Yeah, on Friday there was a quite significant close above this downtrend resistance line over here, as well as on Thursday there was a break above this downwards resistance line as well. So over here, I think over here, when it tests this level, previously at 290 to 300, right? I think there's still probably some resistance over here since it's untested yet. From this bounce, then it just pull back afterwards. So coming back again, I think I will expect some resistance at this level after a strong run on Thursday, Friday as well. So perhaps a bit of a slight pullback could take place if it does run to 290 to 300 area. But let's see whether if you can hold this breakout, let's say preferably around 270s, then I think it could still set up for further rebound for Tesla ahead. Yeah, so that's something to look out for. On the weekly itself, it's also quite strong, closing above the 5 and 10-day last week. So if you can hold up over here, then we could see some further rebound ahead. Yeah, so for now, need to see whether it starts to form higher low, can hold the breakouts of these trend lines out. Next one, I'll talk about other field, which is Xpeng for now. I think it's possibly could do a bit of ascending triangle over here. So for now, resistance still holding like $21, but a bit of a starting from the high low. So we might still see a bit of sideways consolidation over here still. Support probably around 19.3 over here. Yeah. So you might do a bit of sideways consolidation. And then you can break over 21, then probably maybe more upside. Yeah. And I'll talk about the last two, which are Rivian and New Rivian, still very much range bound, I think, for now. 10.7 support, then recently break above some resistance at 12 point, around 12. So we could see maybe perhaps a bit of continuation of momentum towards this 13.3 resistance again, then still a bit of a consolidation afterwards. And last but not least, for new coming back to retest this previous support breakdown, 4.1 over here. So maybe perhaps a bit of consolidation in the short term. Supports probably around 3.9 and 3.7. Yeah. Okay, that's it for the sectors. I'll move on to the counters that you all have. Okay, I see there's a question to repeat Amazon. So I'll just go through it quickly again. So for Amazon, yeah, so for Amazon, 190 here, there could be some reasons still from the retest of this previous support and resistance. There's some high volume over here on the day which all the indices spike very high. Then afterwards pull back. So it's coming back to this level. Might still have some resistance also from this retest of the our support line over here. So over here, I think what we need to see is whether it can form the higher low support. If it can, preferably if it does pull back, maybe like 182, over here where the moving average just still hold, then I think we could see some further rebound ahead. Yeah, then for now, it's a strong reason probably 198 and then 200, around 204 around there for Amazon. Yeah. Okay, hi, BY. Your counters are CLS, and Novo. Okay, I think I think it still looks not bad. So from the rebound as the resistance at 109 has been overcome. So previous support and the resistance consolidation breakout last week on Thursday, Friday. So I think could have more upside ahead. Next resistance to look out for, I think there could be quite strong, maybe at 124. So this was like the range, the previous range resistance, and then there's also this downwards resistance line. So the rebound towards this level could face a bit of resistance. But as long as it can hold above like 107, 108 for now, still remaining above there, I think still okay for further rebound for ARM. And then for Celestical, yeah, for Celestica, I think the correct key level, it must try to hold above its 87. So this was the previous support breakdown. Then after this consolidation recently, try to hold above it again. So for some further upside, you need to try to hold above this 87 level. On the weekly itself, we might see some resistance at 90 still from the 10 MA level. Yeah. So we might see some consolidation first. You might try to backtest whether it holds above East 87. If you can hold, then maybe a bit of a further bounce towards the next level, close to 99, 100, this resistance. Yeah. Okay, then for Novo Nordisk, this one overall still very weak. On the weekly itself, still below the 5 MA level. On the daily, I think it's probably hit a support level already previously, I think close to 57 about there. So doing a bit of rebound for now. But I think yeah, could do a bit of a rebound, but maybe resistance maybe at 65. The recent sideways resistance could still hold firm over here. So maybe for a weak counter over here, it might do a bit of sideways consolidation first with 65 still holding as resistance. Okay, next one is United Health. United Health, I think overall still should be still quite weak. Because it's still below the 5 MA level after this gap down following the results, and then below the key support previously around 435 around there. Yeah, so if it remains under, we might see a little bit of we might see some downside, continued downside ahead. Next support level probably towards like 400 as well as 415 about there could be the next supports for United Health. And then SMCI, I think is doing a bit of a sideways consolidation recently. So the key resistance for it, this one is around 36.5. If you can try to break above it, then we could see some further upside. So currently it's around this level. So we need to try to continue to go above it, then maybe we should see some further bounce towards on the weekly, maybe like 38, 39 about there. Yeah, so that's for SMCI. MEDP, which is MedPace Holdings. This one, not much volume lah. So this one, not sure whether the technicals would work as well, but yeah, overall is a bit of a range towards downtrending counter. Then and possibly a bit of this downwards resistance line over here as well recently. So possibly within trading within this downwards channel for now. Now around the resistance round 3, this 304 lah. So over here it might still face a bit of resistance from this support and resistance level. Yeah, so also downtrend lah. So over here might do a bit of sideways consolidation. Yeah, or if it does break below the last week's low around 290, then it might continue to pull back within this channel itself. Okay, this one is BlackRock. Okay, so for BlackRock, for now, I think it's tried to hold above this 890 level. So this was resistance, now holding as a bit of support. So if this 890 level can hold, which is also where the moving averages are for now in the short term. Where if we could still maybe see a bit of a rebound, further rebound towards maybe 938, which was this range support breakdown level. And so over here needs to hold, and we might see some continued rebound ahead. Yeah, I think 938 will be quite a strong resistance because this was quite a strong support previously. Then there was a breakdown, so retest might see quite strong resistance. Okay, next question is on MSI. MSI, it's Motorola Solutions. So Motorola Solution, I think this one probably sideways over here. So the strong resistance is still at around this 438. Then it's just holding sideways in the range. 410 is the support for now. So I think probably nothing too much. Probably still sideways range until it can try to break above 438. Then next level around 450. But for now, I think just quite sideways still. Next one is SMH. SMH is the VanEck Semicon ETF. So this one quite similar chart to the Philadelphia Stocks Index. So the resistance over here 212. Previously quite a strong support level. Then over here, I think it's the second time it's tested. So from first time it tested, there was a pullback. Second time, I will still expect a bit of a pullback over here for now, but maybe a higher low hook form. So short-term support probably for now, moving averages, maybe 200 could be a strong support for now for staying, do a bit of sideways consolidation. Yeah. And going above 210, the next strong resistance, I think next resistance probably around 220 lah. So that's for VanEck Semicon ETF. Okay, next one is GLD, which is the SPDR Gold Trust. So this one, tracking gold. So yeah, just now I mentioned earlier for gold, you're slowing down in terms of momentum where it's coming is below the 5 MA right now. So we might see some further pullback towards maybe towards the 20 MA to a 30 MA area. So that could be between maybe at 289 to 295 area over here. So if it does dip, then we might see some rebound for gold lah. Yeah, for GLD. GDX is the VanEck Gold Miner ETF. So this one probably somewhat similar as well. So for now, support maybe like could do a bit of a pullback maybe towards 46.7 about there. Yeah, for some support perhaps. Okay, then the next one is on TLT. So for TLT, I think looking a bit sideways for now. I think yeah, this one is the 20 plus years treasury bond ETF. So some resistance for now probably still at around 90, I guess. Then for now, after some support around 86, rebound. Yeah, so 89 to 90 probably some resistance, I think. Support probably still around maybe 87.5 around there. So maybe a bit still a bit of sideways kind of trading for now. Yeah, since for the treasury bond yield, which is the TLT is inverse of, for now there's a bit of sideways consolidation for the 20-year bond yield. So yeah, quite sideways. So we might see a bit of sideways for TLT as well. For Celsius, Celsius, I think it's still one of the top performers. So this one, very long period of consolidation over here, but good thing is that still holding above the 35 resistance. So I think if this one still continue to hold above this yellow line, the 20 MA, which I think has been respecting as a support all the while, then I think could still have some upside, maybe. So after this consolidation, I think there should be like a wave upwards. Another upwards. Yeah, perhaps it's trading in a bit of a channel over here as well. Yeah, so that's for Celsius. Lam Research. In Lam Research, I think over here there might be a bit of resistance at the 71 level. So this 71 was a very strong support previously. Then after the breakdown, it retested once, it was pulled back. Currently, it is back retesting again. So over here, there might still be some resistance. But I think for now, the bit of the recent consolidation range could hold as a bit of support. So there's 63, then the low end of support. MA wise is probably 67 around there. So we might see a bit of sideways consolidation. If we can hold higher low, then there might be a chance to break above this level for some further upside towards maybe 75 sticks resistance for long research. Okay, then next one is Adobe. So Adobe, I think overall still very downtrend counter, but perhaps a bit of a slight rebound for now since Friday broke possibly breaking above this trading range of 360, this 360 resistance. So we might see some further bounce towards like 378, which was this prior support, go as a bit of resistance now. Yeah, on the weekly itself, maybe 380 could be some resistance as well if it meets the retest the 10 MA, the weekly itself again. So that's for Adobe. Next one is Enphase Energy. Yeah, this one I think overall still quite weak. Like after the results, there was a gap down, I think, and overall downtrend as well. So I think over here this 49 to 50 area should be some resistance on the short term 5 and 10-day MAs over here as well as the previous support breakdown. Yeah, if it breaks below the last week's support maybe at around 45, then we might see some down continuation to the downside for Enphase. Next one is Lockheed Martin. So Lockheed Martin, this one still be in a bit of a trading range. Around the resistance for now is like 478. But tested quite a few times and a bit of higher low has been forming over here recently. So I think there could be a chance of a breakout to above 478. It could test maybe like 494 again. Yeah, so that's for Lockheed Martin, a bit of range, but I think could try to break out. Next one is Pepsi. Pepsi, I think overall still a bit of the trading range broken at 140 support breakdown. I think the results also. So we could see maybe be a downside continue. Yeah, next support maybe at 130 as well as 133 next for Pepsi. Next question is on Palantir. Yeah, Palantir I think is one of the stronger ones recently. Yeah. So since the recovery above this $80, managed to break above this 98 as well. So it's coming back to this support previous breakdown over here around 110, but still quite strong momentum. So I think overall we might do some consolidation over here if there's some previous support breakdown that holds as a bit of resistance. But I think I think there's still quite a good chance that it could go up to test 125 again. Quite strong momentum as I noticed compared to the other stocks during this period as well. So I think it could trend along the 5-day MA over here for now. Yeah. This one is Palo Alto. Palo Alto, this one managed to recover above this 167 level. This support breakdown, doing a bit of range consolidation and breakout of 173 recently. So I think we could see maybe price go a bit higher. Maybe the key reasons probably around 185 to like 190 this area over here. Yeah, so that's I think we could see some further bounce here to test this resistance previously for Palo Alto. Next one is Salesforce. For Salesforce, I think testing the back at this previous support resistance around 269, 270. So second test over here might still have a bit of resistance. Since it's in a bit of a downward trend right now. So there could be still some bit of sideways consolidation. But I think support would come around like 257 about there. Yeah, then maybe a bit of consolidation. You can hold a higher low. Then next time I think could try to break over this resistance. And then the next resistance upwards probably around 281 to 287 about there for Salesforce. Okay, next one is Nike. For Nike, I think overall still rather weak, but a bit of a sideways range for now. So just consolidation in place between like 53.50 to 59.30 over here. So I think nothing much. Yeah, unless you can see a breakout of this resistance, then it could start do a bit of a get feel towards like 63 maybe. Yeah, but for now I think just sideways for now still. ST Lauder. This one, ST Lauder. Okay, trending up over here for now. Also, a bit of breaking about this recent 57 recently. So, I think it could still try to inch up a bit slowly over here. Next key recent maybe 60, this 64 previous support breakdown level for ST Lauder. As long as this trend line doesn't break down there, I think could still trend up slowly. Yeah, for a slight rebound. 2318 Hong Kong is Ping An Insurance. Yeah, for Ping An Insurance, I think since the pace of this swing low $40 rebound, the resistance 44, yeah, then still holding above the moving average. So I think we could still see maybe a slight rebound. But over here, like when it comes to 47 over here, which was previously this strong support level that there was this huge gap down, right? This level might host a bit of resistance. So it might turn a bit sideways afterwards if it does test 47 and above, yeah, for Ping An Insurance. Okay, hi Sharon, good evening. Your question is two support and resistance for Tesla, Nvidia, and Dell. And also, what's the Poem 3 TA that you mentioned? You can ask question. Yeah, so the Poem 3 TA is like it's a mobile app. So if you go to the app, your app store, if you type in Poem 3, then we have this mobile app. Then we have the various community groups over there. So there's some for like Singapore stock investing, US stock. And then there's also a group for TA. Yeah, so if you have any question about TA, you can feel free to just drop any questions over there and then I'll answer. Yeah, so you can download if you don't have yet, you can download the P3 app over there. I'll share the link later during the end of the session also for the download link. Yeah. So your question, back to your question, Tesla, two support resistance for Tesla and Nvidia, Dell. For now, resistance probably 290, around like this. Sorry. Probably these two, this swing high around 290 as well as 300. In terms of support, I would think maybe like 273 over here, 274. If it does backtest this trend line, then next support level downwards probably around 258. this horizontal level. Yeah. Then for Nvidia, I think resistance for now probably still this one around 115, then followed by 122. Support wise, probably uh around 106. 106, then maybe 99, around 91, 9100 over here. And then for Dell, Dell next resistance, I think could be around this 100 level, then followed by 107. For support wise, probably like 89, 90, or below that is around 80, 85. Yeah. So that answers your question. Next question is Teladoc. Yeah, so for Teladoc, I think probably still trending downwards within maybe a channel itself. Yeah. So need to try to break out above this, then for some bounce. But if it does break out, then I think resistance probably 7.8. This spike when high volume go pose a bit of resistance over here. So probably might turn a bit sideways still afterwards. Yeah, so that's for Taylor. I think overall still just pulling back downtrend over here. Then for GameStop, GameStop also this one quite resilient. Bit of a sideways over here for now. I think it could still go a bit higher as long as since it's still holding well above 5 and 10 day MAs. Still short term wise, there's still some strength. If it holds above like only hold above that 26.5, I think could still try to go a bit higher towards like 29, where there's some strong resistance over here for the horizontal level now. Okay, hi Busung, there's a question, MSTR. Yeah, so MSTR I think has been forming not bad also. So breakout of this downwards resistance line, also breaking over this horizontal resistance 346. So it's currently around the next level around like 377, 378 might be might have a bit of resistance over here, but I think as long as it continues to hold above 5 MA, we might still see it try to test like close to 404 like this swing high over here. Yeah. Since I think Bitcoin is still showing some strength for now. Oh, then there's a question. Are you seeing any strength in current S&P fund rally? Is it possible that it's bottom out and will resume uptrend, or still looking very bearish as it was the case 1 to 2 weeks ago? Okay, so my take, that's a good question. So my take is that, yeah, there's currently some strength, but my feel is that it's a bear market rally. Yeah, because what I feel is that, in terms of the longer term moving averages, right, there's is stay under the 200 MA for quite some time, like also below the 50 and 100 MA. So in the uptrend previously, right, the price should be trading above like all these long-term moving averages. Or once it break, it should have a swift recovery. Like for example, back in 2023, there was a break over here, but price recovered above it. Now, since the breakdown or like it's about almost 2 months lah, then price is still trading under 200 MA. So I think that's a sign of we are in a bear market lah. So I think it's likely to see. I think overall we could still see some further downside ahead lah. Something I look at is on the monthly as well. Interesting thing is that on the monthly, price also broke below the 10 MA level lah in March. So that's something that hasn't happened since we've recovered we recovered out from the bear market back in 2022. So Previously back in 2022 over here, we can see that once there's a breakdown of the 10 MA, then price pull back further. So we could be seeing, I think we could be seeing something similar over here. So for now, but we still be a rebound, then 5,700 will be quite a strong resistance, I feel, where it could meet the 5 MA, which is turning down. So I think for now, probably still a rally. But when it comes to 5,700 plus, which is this the horizontal resistance level as well as the 200 MA, the long-term moving averages over here, right? I think that this will be quite a very strong resistance for the index to turn down again. So that's my personal feeling for the S&P. Okay, next question is on GEG Healthcare and Carrier Global. So this one back re, above 188, then coming back to retest this previous support breakdown level, right, 196. So I think we might see, I also did a gap fill over here, 199. So we might see a bit of a, I think we could see a bit of some sideways consolidation here first, since this was quite a strong support previously. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe just some sideways over here first. And then for GE Healthcare, overall downtrend, but a bit of a rebound, but feel the gap breakout of 60 around 64.18 and rebound to fill this gap. So over here might still have made a bit of some resistance. So maybe a bit of a pullback. We could see a bit of maybe we could see some pullback again towards like 65 to 66. Okay, then see whether I can hold above this trading range previously or not. Yeah, so maybe a bit of sideways as well. Yeah, so the next one is Carrier Global. Carrier Global, yeah, overall is still downtrend. Strong resistance could come like 61, this 61.30 as well as 63.30 area. So a bit of a sideways consolidation taking place for now. Yeah, I think if it does hit this resistance zone, I think we'll still meet some resistance and pullback. So probably some sideways consolidation still taking place for now. Yeah. Between like 57.30 to 61.30. Next one is on Eli Lilly. So Eli Lilly, this one following the gap up over here. Yeah, price is still maintaining above the 5 MA level. So just a bit of sideways and pushing higher. So breaking above this swing high 867, but still maybe to test like this close to 900, this support breakdown previously. Yeah. Then a very strong resistance will be around this 900, around close to 935 which is this swing high and previously horizontal resistance over here. Yeah, so probably if it comes over here, then we might see some pullback for Eli. And Moderna, I think overall still probably mainly trading within this descending wedge over here. Probably yeah, not much for now. Looks like a sideways horizontal support holding around 2370. Resistance is probably around like 28 to 30 over here. So I would expect still some sideways now. And then Essential, Okay, for Essential, I think probably still quite sideways. Support strong support is still holding 275, but resistance is still acting away from this support breakdown. At I think like close to 299, 300. So probably still sideways, I think, for now. Yeah. Then there's a question on LVMH. Like a bit of a down bottom in the short term. Um, yeah, maybe I think we could still see price try to rebound a bit higher. For now, it's also above the daily 10 area, which has been holding a bit of resistance during this decline. So if we can hold above like 495, we might still see some bounce maybe towards like 520s, and 540 will be the strong resistance for LVM. Okay, hi James, your questions. LMP I covered just now. Talk about it. SAP and ADDYY. So SAP. Yeah, so what SEP, I think well, after the results there was a gap up, I think then break out this downtrend resistance line. So still holding well. Today there's another pre-market gap up. So I think probably you could try to test this level at 287. There could be some resistance. And next one is on this 293 swing high again. Yeah, so I think could still show some strength over here lah. Then next one is Adidas. Yeah, so Adidas, I think there's yeah, some strength going back above the support breakdown previously 150 and as well as this 119 level. So over here, they might next it might do some consolidation or and try and afterwards go higher a bit. The next key resistance probably around 126, 127, which is this support breakdown in the past for Adidas. Okay, next one is on Twilio. So for Twilio, I think looks like a return, another test of this support breakdown, 94 over here. So we might still see some resistance from this previous support breakdown. Then I think could hold as some support for now, probably like 89, $90, which was this consolidation breakout recently. It might be a bit of a sideways, yeah, for now. Okay, next one is Teva. Teva is for now breaking above this resistance at 1440. So we might see some slight bounce to try and test this 15.5 will be the next short-term resistance. And afterwards, you might do a bit of a sideways consolidation thereafter. Attendees Bio, I think this one very low volumes. I think for now still looks like still a trading range. Resistance still holding 2140. Yeah, but if you can, let's say if you can form a higher low around like 19 around above $19-20 over here resistance then support, then I think there could be a chance for a breakout. But for now, we still needs a bit of consolidation and see how it goes. Then next question is on Starbucks. So I think Starbucks came down to this previous range recent around $79-80, doing a bit of sideways. I think for now we might still do a bit continues a bit of sideways now. Short-term resistance probably like 86 to 989. Yeah, so I think this sideways will still continue in the short term. Okay, there's a question on the three local banks. Okay, so three local banks. First one is DBS. Yeah, so for DBS, actually retested this 43 lah. Previously was a strong support during the sideways, and there was a sell off. So coming back to this support, likely to earn a bit of resistance for now. I think we could most likely see some sideways consolidation for now. So this swing high support, swing high resistance around like 4150 could turn into support, which is also matching with the moving averages. So 4150 could be a short-term support where price just does a bit of sideways. It will be similar as well. Like 35 was like previous support. Then now for probably turn to a bit of resistance. Then short-term support probably like 33.30, I think, which is around the moving averages over here as well. And then OCBC are also similar for the all three banks. So 16 previous support and resistance. For now, support probably will come in around like 1550 or 1550 around there might do some sideways. Okay, then okay, there's a question of Pfizer. Yeah, so for Pfizer, I think uh, still quite sideways. Need to try to break above this recent 23 lah. 23 tested a few times, but need to try to break above, then can see a further bounce. Yeah, for Pfizer. Also currently still below the 5 MA there. So this might still have a bit of resistance. Yeah, then next recent level, I think probably 24 perhaps, yeah, from this previous swing low. The next is on Qualcomm. Yeah, for Qualcomm, I think currently doing the rebound to retest its previous strong support. So this was quite strong support around 150 that was slightly turned into a bit of resistance, I feel, for now. And then for now, support probably this breakout level recently around 143. Yeah, if it does retest. I'll take one more question. Since it's around 9:15, CrowdStrike. Yeah, for CrowdStrike, I'm still looking not bad. Looks like a dollar bottom over here, 305. Then breakout of this resistance lah at 395 after a few tests and moving higher. So I think it could sustain this bit of this short-term momentum to try to test not much resistance over here. So it could go on to test maybe 485 again, I think. Yeah, so hopefully it can continue the momentum upwards for CrowdStrike. Yeah, sorry if I'm unable to take all the questions in view of the time. Yeah, so I'll just answer one. Just now the participant that asked the strong reasons. Where's the strong reason of S&P? Yeah, I would say it's probably around 5,700 around that area. Yeah. So let me just stop sharing my screen. Give me a moment. I'll leave the survey form as well as a link to join P3 inside the chat. Yeah, so just give me a moment. Okay. Yeah, so thanks for joining the webinar today. Feel free to fill out the survey form if any feedback about today's session so improve your experience in the future. And also feel free to join the P3 community. If you haven't, can download using this the link lah. So then you can ask any questions you have on TA inside the TA community group. Yeah, if you're new, also feel free to join the Poems TA technical analysis chat at Poems TA as well. So I put that in the webinar chat as well. So that's all for today. Thanks for all your questions and kind attendance. Sorry I'm unable to take all the questions in view of time, but I hope to see you all again in the next TA webinar. And I hope you all have a great week ahead and safe. Good luck and keep safe. So I see you all again in the next session. Thanks and bye bye everyone. Have a good night. Bye bye.